For many of us guys, understanding how girls work feels like trying to solve the greatest mystery in the world. What you're about to learn are some more of the craziest things that I've ever learned about girls, and although you might find this information shocking at times, it has the potential to forever change how you view females. So with that said, let's get right into it. Number one girl's trash is another girl's treasure. Something that many guys try to do is sculpt their appearance to fit what they think that a girl will like. So if they've been told that a girl likes a certain type of haircut more than another, they will make sure that they get the haircut that is viewed as the most attractive one. But I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. What one girl likes when it comes to looks could very well be dog food when it comes to what 100 other girls like. You see, when a girl looks at a man, she might see the most attractive man that she has ever laid her eyes on. While at the same time, another girl looking at the same man might see nothing more than a huge pile of dog food. Something that I never quite understood was that females' preferences for looks are incredibly subjective. This is why it's best for men to simply dress and style themselves the way that is true to themselves, so if a girl becomes attracted to you, she will be attracted to the real you and not a fake version of you. Number two, girls always want what they can't have. Thinking back to high school, how many girls were lost to the quote-unquote jocks and the jerks? One of the craziest things about girls is that they always want what they can't have. Now, we could argue that all humans want things that they can't have or things that they aren't supposed to have to some extent. But based on personal experience, I would say that on average, females are tempted to chase after men that they can't have far more aggressively than men would chase after females. It was always the ball players and the jerks in high school that were always too busy for the girls, which had an unintentional effect on girls that made them never stop chasing after these guys. This is an insanely useful thing for guys to understand because far too often we see a good-looking girl and we are too quick or too eager to show interest in her. Now, paradoxically, showing less interest in a girl after showing initial interest, or pulling away, so to speak, creates what you would call a void, and girls will always seek to fill this void by chasing after you or by showing more interest in you. All that a relationship between a man and a woman really is a never-ending dance of pushing and pulling, or showing interest and then pulling away, showing interest again, and then pulling away again. At the end of the day, girls will always want a man that they can't have. So in a best case scenario, you should always strive to be the man who is mentally just out of reach. Number three, girls always test the guys that they like. When a girl becomes attracted to you, it is for the most part your character or your personality that draws her in. Part of this is your looks, part of it might be your social status, but the majority of what makes girls attracted to you is your personality. But more importantly, it is your alpha-like qualities. So many guys get upset when girls test them and they withdraw or they admit defeat, not realizing that being tested by females is actually a good thing because it means that the girl likes you enough to test you for certain traits or for certain alpha qualities. And one of the most common tests that a female will put you through is testing you for strength, because strength is one of the most important qualities that a man can have. And despite what you might have been told, this type of strength has nothing to do with how much you can bench press. A man's strength has everything to do with his mind, or how quick he does or does not back down mentally. Most guys who have trouble attracting girls have problems with their self-esteem and problems with confidence. And of course, when a girl tests you, she is actually testing for these exact things, so it's no wonder why so many men fail the tests. One of the most used, most effective ways for a girl to test you is to act cold towards you. Because what do men do when a girl acts cold towards them, particularly if she is good looking? The answer is that most men crumble mentally. Because when a girl acts cold towards us, it is the same feeling that we would get if we told her that we liked her and she told us straight to our face that she liked some other guy instead. Emotionally, that is exactly how rejection feels. It's almost like getting punched in the face without actually getting punched in the face. Now, so many guys view tests from females as something negative, but the truth is that if a girl is testing your confidence level, or if she's testing to see if you have alpha qualities, what she is doing is actually showing you that she likes you. So instead of getting angry, you should be happy, because testing is a soft way for girls to show interest in you, which is definitely something that should be enjoyed. Number four, girls almost never say directly what they want. One of the greatest challenges that men face when it comes to females is simply understanding them. It's like the old saying, you can't fix a problem if you don't even know that it exists. One of the craziest things that I ever learned about girls is that they will almost never tell you directly what it is that they want. Now, obviously, this can cause problems when you're not sure if she likes you or not, because females will almost never come right out and tell you that they like you. And so what happens is we're kind of left in this limbo, or this kind of game of guessing what it is that they want. I mentioned in the previous video that girls speak in a hidden language, and girls never telling you exactly what they want is basically one of the effects of this indirect language that they use. If you don't understand this language, it's like having a map and everything you need to know is on the map except the directions are not in the right order. It's like in the Goonies movie where the guys find a cave and then on the wall there's a vague puzzle or clue that needs to be solved in order to get to the next room or one step closer to the treasure. And once you realize that girls will almost never tell you exactly what they want, it becomes much easier to look for and decipher these subtle cues or hints that they drop, which will make it much easier for you to figure out what it is that they are really trying to say to you. Number 5, girls are way better at reading between the lines. Something that many guys try to do is fake being confident, or they try to fake certain alpha qualities in the hopes that girls will find them more attractive and spend the night with them. And in the process of faking these traits, a man will change the way that he walks, or the way that he talks, or even the tone of his voice, and any number of other things that project what you might call an alpha vibe. But then they realize that 99% of girls are able to see right through the act. And this is the result of their near superhuman ability to read people. Females, as a result of evolutionary processes, are far better at reading very subtle things that us men always seem to miss. And nobody knows the exact percentage, but on average it would seem that girls are at least 2 to 3 times better at reading facial expressions, voice tones, and behaviors of other humans. This makes sense from an evolutionary perspective that females would need to be far superior to men at reading things like facial expressions because number 1, they need to understand and care for the needs of their children, and number 2, they must be able to quickly determine whether or not a man is a threat to their survival. On average, a typical male will have no trouble overpowering a typical female physically. So as a result of this, females must be experts at reading men to know if said men pose a threat to their survival. This incredible ability that girls have to read people is also extremely useful for selecting mates because with it, they are able to separate strong males from weak ones or insecure males from non-insecure males. But even more importantly, they are able to screen for universal alpha qualities that women find desirable within men. By understanding that girls are, on average, way better at reading human behavior, which at the same time makes them way better at reading mental states, we as men have way more incentive to authentically develop our alpha qualities rather than focusing our energy on ways to try to fake these qualities, or in other words, ways to put on an act. Number 6, girls are like cats. One of the craziest, but also one of the truest things that I have ever discovered is that girls behave in many ways just like cats. Now, as weird as it sounds, you can learn so much about girls simply by looking at how a cat interacts with people. Like your typical cat, an average girl will stand there and stare at you, almost like she's sizing you up long before she ever approaches you. I've also noticed that girls are very picky with who they will spend their time with, and many times they will walk right by you, almost as if you don't even exist, and other times they will treat you like you're the most important person on the planet. One of the craziest parts about all of this, or the most important part in my opinion, is that you can never force a cat to like you or to come to you, and if you chase the cat, she will always run away. Girls are the same exact way. You can't force a girl to like you. And after you've shown some initial interest, it is time to let her go. And if she comes back to you, then she likes you. And in the same way that you would never chase a cat, you never want to waste time chasing after a girl who doesn't like you back. This has been 6 of the craziest things that I've ever learned about girls, part 2. And until next time, thanks for watching.